DayBreak, Chapter 8, Part 3. Care pressed a hoof to the servant's throat and backed him against the stove.
Who are you really, blank, huh? You've got the wrong pony!
The black-coated servant yelped.
I have no idea who this pony is, who just happens to have the exact same voice.
Care lit her horn, which intensified from pink to orange.
Who just so happens to have the exact same speech pattern too. You didn't even try to hide your gait and posture, blankety blank. Look, it isn't what it...
The servant's voice was cut off when Care leaned against his throat.
If it isn't what it looks like, then what is it?
She snarled.
Who are you working for? He is working for me,
Princess Luna said. Care turned her head, but didn't let blankety blank go.
For you. He has his own mission just as you have yours.
Princess Luna took a breath in through her nose.
And you are going to be late for your part in it.
Care lowered her hooves. The stallion slumped to the floor, rubbing his neck. She walked past Princess Luna without a word and headed back to the party.
You are not supposed to be here, Mr. Blank,
Luna said.
I was told that Twilight Velvet explained the concepts of both vacations and deep cover. I had to follow my mission.
Blankety rose slowly to his hooves.
I didn't think that a whole new persona was necessary. Well, it certainly is now.
Luna frowned.
Is Blue Blood in any danger? No more than usual.
Blank closed his eyes and tasted the air.
Most of the emotions are excitement and anticipation. Nothing harmful.
Luna sighed.
Keep on looking for that solid evidence, blankety blank. I believe the attempted assassination of both Blue Blood and my sister are related. Yes, ma'am.
Blank engulfed himself in green flames, reconfiguring his face, body, mane, and tail. A red and blue Pegasus mare dressed in servant's clothes winked at the princess.
Pip pip, marm. Please do not call me marm.
Luna said.
And do not say pip pip. It is not you.
The servant chewed the inside of her cheek.
Exactly. We are so late.
Twilight Sparkle rode in the carriage, facing backwards. She stared out the window and at the ground that they'd already covered.
We are late. Late! What's the big deal, honey?
Twilight Velvet asked. She stuck her bubble pipe between her teeth.
We're always a little late. Fashionably, of course. I think that's just you, dear,
Nightlight said. Twilight fidgeted with her braid.
Yeah, but if I'm late this time, then something catastrophic could happen.
Velvet leaned out the side window.
Snipe Hunt, how long until we arrive?
Snipe Hunt, who was hitched to the carriage's reins, called back. We'll be there in less than 10 minutes, Chief Velvet. We're just passing Dulcimer's construction project.
See? We're nearly there.
Velvet placed a deerstalker cap on her head.
Now don't I just look the part of Fetlock Hooves? We even have Princess Luna's personal guards with us, Twilight.
Nightlight squeezed his daughter's shoulder.
Everything will be just fine.
Twilight Sparkle rested her head on her foreleg.
But what if it isn't?
Luna opened the doors wide and stepped into the gardens. The bright lights of the party gave way to the dusky blues and silvers of the night. The door shut with a final thump. She looked up and saw Shardscale atop the roof, recording everything that she saw through a skylight. The Alicorn Princess sighed and walked to the center of the garden, where the ancient oak sat idle and leafless. Daringdo watched from a high window.
How much easier does it need to get for this hurricane pony to show up?
Care shushed her. A moment later, Daring spoke up again.
Twilight should be here by now. What's keeping her?
Care shushed her more forcefully, placing a hoof to her lips.
Oh, for the love of...
Daring pushed the brim of her pith helmet up.
You want to shush something? Shush that stinking griffin volley guns. I nearly jumped out of my skin when they went off. Do you understand the definition of clandestine?
Care hissed.
Hurricane could show up at any moment, and you're worried about a little noise?
Daring flashed her a flat grin.
Isn't that what you're complaining about? A little noise?
She grumbled and planted her nose against the window.
Do you even think that we can take her out without Twilight to help? We'll have to.
Care's head turned sharp towards the door.
There! Something's coming out!
A small gray lump darted through the shadows. Daring scratched her forehead.
Well, that looks smaller than I expected. Shush!
Care opened the window without a sound. Her horn glowed bright in preparation to light a flare.
3, 2... Princess Luna?
A voice squeaked.
Princess Luna! Did you come out here?
Luna turned and beheld a short, fuzzy, sparkly griffin.
Princess Stella?
She looked at the rooftops around the courtyard, just in time to see Care's horn fizzle out.
You shouldn't be out here. You should be at the party with— But I wanted to see you!
The girl cheeped.
You're one of the oldest creatures in the world! You must know a million stories! I will have to wait, little one.
Luna extended a wing towards the oak tree.
Skyhook, please return the princess to her father.
The bat pony in question materialized from among the branches. He dropped to the ground and held a hoof out to Stella. He smiled as best as he could without showing fangs. Come with me, Stella. There's something Princess Luna needs to do alone.
Oh, but I wanted to hear—
Stella's wings dragged along the ground as she took the guard's hoof.
Okay. I'm sorry for bothering you. Later, Princess Stella.
Luna swallowed hard.
Later, I shall tell you the grandest story that I know. Thank you.
Stella looked up.
Do you know any stories, Mr. Bat Pony?
Skyhook chuckled, even as he scanned the skies. How many? Have you heard the one about how the Crystal Empire returned?
Yeah.
Okay. How about when the Plunder Vines kidnapped the princesses?
Uh-huh.
Luna smiled, despite herself. The leaves on the ground and in the bushes rustled as the wind picked up. She spread her wings and felt the air blow through her feathers.
Perhaps one story.
She stared at the moon that had been under her charge for so long. She hummed softly to herself. It was an old tune, close to her heart. One written just after Celestia had raised the sun for the first time. Stella then slowed down. She dragged against Skyhook's grip to listen in. Luna blinked. Her ears twitched this way and that to catch the noises that were not of her own voice. The temperature dropped. Shardscale's wings spread to cover her body even as she dipped her nose into the skylight. Luna looked up, her expression firm.
Commander Hurricane?
Luna trotted around the tree.
Commander Hurricane? I'm here. I'm waiting. You sought to slay my sister and failed, so do you now seek to slay me as well? Do you seek to see your entire legacy undone? Here I am. Face me now, thou monster!
Stella twisted away from Skyhook. She ran towards the princess, jumping from bush to bush. The guard rushed after her, his keen, sensitive eyes never losing sight of her. Stella, come back! It's dangerous out here!
Why keep to the shadows now, villain?
Luna shouted. The wind whipped her starry mane across her face.
When you made such a spectacle of your attack on Celestia. Come forth now and face me! Face me and die!
Daring Do leapt out of the window, her wings locked in a glide. Care lowered a rope ladder and shimmied down. The leaves whirled around the oak tree in a tornado of autumn colors, lit by the light of the full moon. The wind stopped. The leaves settled down as though they had not been disturbed in the first place. Every pony paused. Their breath held, their muscles tense. Stella pushed herself through a bush. She then touched Luna's hoof.
Princess? What happened?
Luna glared at the sky. She winced and lowered her head.
I don't know, child. I don't know.
The temperature rose back to the cool night air, rather than the harsh chill of before. Luna's eyes gradually opened wider, her ears drooping in concert.
Did I do the right thing, sister?
Snipe Hunt's hooves clumped against the road as they rolled past the construction site. Twilight had unbraided her mane, and re-braided it several times that night.
I should be there. Twilight.
Velvet said.
It will be fine. Luna's a tough pony. If she can't handle something, then she can hold out until you get there.
She reached across the car and touched her daughter's cheek.
If you're that worried, then leave us. We'll be taken care of. You go and save the day again.
Twilight held her hoof over her mother's.
These are dangerous times. I'm not leaving you guys alone on a night like this. We can handle ourselves.
Twilight Velvet chuckled.
Give me a pony and see if I don't knock them on their butt in 10 minutes. Have a little faith in us.
I can definitely vouch for your mother, Nightlight said. After over 30 years of marriage, I should know. An elbow to the ribs, he clarified. 30 years of blissful marriage that seem like less than a day in hindsight.
Well, that's a stretch, dear.
Velvet then giggled.
Really, Twilight. Go for it.
I'll be right here beside them, Your Highness, Snipon said. If anything happens, it'll have to go through me. The roof buckled as something heavy fell on it. Iron claws ripped through the sides of the carriage. The entire vehicle tilted to the side as if it was lifted into the air. Velvet fell on her husband, while Twilight Sparkle screeched and steadied herself with her hooves and wings. The windows were blocked off by the massive iron talons of the construction site's crane. The suspended carriage rotated slowly, giving them a view of all around. Twilight peered through the bars of their makeshift cage and spotted the crane's control box. Standing at the box, her hoof on a joystick, was the scarred mare. She then opened a wing, sending razor-sharp blades flying at them.
Now what a fucking cliffhanger that was. I wonder if they're gonna die. No, probably not, actually. Anyways, let's get on to our eager donators.
Top donators: Dash of Evergreen, Peter Coulthard, J Tinman, Darkside, and Ponyman. Call that a ball drop if you want. Courier Crew CI, Strix, Star630, Narwhals, Delta Omega, RuneScyther 9852, Dospo, Rhiny Dragonwolf, Hunter Norman, Austin Roland, Secret Moon, Tall Rasha, The Toilet Snake, Sword Brethren Mordred, Ronin Wandering, Enderai 63, Random Person Man Guy, Easy, Jack Cadge, Starlight Glimmer, Squiddy Boy, David Sanchez, Soul Dragon, Gaggy, Trey, Shadow Drake, Joe Piercy, Alex F, Rainbow Dash, Teal'ca Anderson, TV Killer, John Becker, Leon Reynolds, Zach Rakal, Mr. ECU, Leslie Prickett, Edgar Garcia, One Kingdom 1, Nissa Rusan, Vizuri, Dyslexic Character Sheets, and Just a Random Boy. Thank you all very much for watching this video, and live life to the fullest.